Hey hustlers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, aka Jazz Hustles, and I am a 20-year-old Amazon seller. I started selling in the beginning of last year and I'm still going at it. As you guys can tell by today's title, I'm going to be doing a part 5 of answering your top Amazon FBA questions. So I headed over to my Instagram stories and left a poll on there for all of my followers. If you haven't already, make sure to follow my socials, JASHUSTLES on Instagram, TikTok, and also of course YouTube. So then you don't miss whenever I do another story. If you guys know me, I like getting straight to this video. If you guys haven't already, make sure to like it up, subscribe, and push the little bell so then you're notified whenever I post. Okay, so someone asked, if you ungate manually, do you still have to order 10 products and ungate that way? So if you are able to manually ungate, you don't have to do the whole process of buying 10 units, getting the invoice from a manufacturer or distributor. You don't have to do that. But in instances where you cannot get manually ungated, that's where you have to purchase the 10 units, get the invoice and all of that. If you guys don't know what ungating is, make sure to go to my ungating tutorials down on my YouTube channel. I have lots of them. I had to rearrange this question. Basically, she's asking if there is bundles and packs, do they go in poly bags? Yes, they do. And is inbound shipping still 0.35 cents? So inbound shipping is not that cheap anymore. On my inbound shipping settings, under my seller amp settings, I have $1.30 right now at the moment. And then I have the minimal shipment splits as the placement fee. Now, someone asked, is shoes and clothes a bad category because of high return rates? So I wouldn't say that shoes and apparel is a bad category. I would just tell you to be cautious just because there is high return rates with that product. So what I recommend people to do, usually 25% ROI is the goal, but honestly, I look for over 35% and above just because whenever you get a return, you get a fee taken out from Amazon. So you have to keep in mind that if you do get a return on a product that usually is returnable, like let's say someone doesn't fit the shoe size or the hoodie size, then there's going to be a fee for that. So you don't want to already be in the breaking even or negatives. So it's not a bad category, but I would just say to be cautious and not just focus on that category. Also look into the categories that don't have high return rates, like groceries, health and household, and stuff like that. Someone asked, can you do a separate video on the buy box? Does only person have it until they run out of units? So I actually did a video on how to win the buy box, and I talked a lot about the buy box recently in one of my YouTube videos. So make sure to go down there after, so then you can learn more about the buy box and what it is. Do you have to get ungated for almost everything that you buy at stores like TJ Maxx, Ross, etc.? So in the beginning, you're going to be restricted in basically everything. But that's why I recommend people to get ungated in many different things before they actually go outsourcing. So I definitely recommend the grocery category for one, since it ungates basically like 99% of the grocery brands on Amazon. There is going to be a few other food brands that you aren't able to sell because they are a little more strict, like Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, but that's also because they sell merchandise like stuff that's not food, like cups and stuff. And the whole reason why Amazon has this ungating process in place is that so they prevent sellers from selling counterfeit items. And I've seen many fake Starbucks cups being sold from Chinese wholesalers, Alibaba, and stuff like that. So they're a little more strict when it comes to those certain brands. I definitely recommend getting ungated in the grocery category and then start looking into what brands sell on Amazon and what brands you see sell well on Amazon. You can look into the bestsellers page on the Amazon.com or the movers and shakers page. If you also go to my other ungating videos on my channel, you'll see all the brands that I've gotten gated for. But just know that if you freshly have your account verified on Amazon, if you just walk into a store, you're most likely not going to be able to sell any of those things. You have to get ungated. I do recommend the grocery category for beginners just because, like I said, you don't have to ungate each brand itself. But with everything else, most things, like let's say you wanted to sell Nike, you have to ungate Nike. You have to buy 10 Nike units, provide the invoice. If you want to start selling Barbie units, you have to start buying 10 Barbie units, get the invoice and stuff like that. So you do have to get ungated in each brand itself. For some instances, there will be products that you ungate each brand and it'll actually ungate you in a few other brands. So for example, I ungated Burt's Bees last year and I noticed that I was ungated in smaller beauty brands, not the whole beauty category. There's no way to fully ungate the beauty category, but I was able to sell a few beauty brands just because I ungated Burt's Bees. So just keep that in mind. So can you go in depth on how to source on online, I have many videos on how to source online arbitrage. Just look at my YouTube videos. What do you think about buying bundles for cheap of websites and selling them on Amazon instead of buying bundles on legit stores? Yeah, so I think that's way better. You will notice that if you're trying to buy a bundle already made as a bundle online and try and resell it on Amazon for a bundle, usually it's cheaper if you buy it in singular items online and then make it a bundle yourself and then send it to Amazon. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Do you recommend closing, deleting products that you are no longer selling on the Amazon Seller app? So I recommend deleting and closing after 30 days, just because, you know, every customer has a 30-day return policy for most of, you know, the products. You don't want to delete an item and then you get the return, because it's eventually going to go into stranded inventory. Because let's say, for instance, the customer wants to return, Amazon is usually going to put it back in your inventory, but if you deleted the listing, it's going to be in stranded inventory. So if you did do that by accident, that's perfectly fine. All you have to do is relist your product and it'll tell you exactly the reason why it's in stranded inventory. Stranded inventory means that there's no place to put this item, and eventually they're going to send it back to you in a matter of days or in a matter of weeks. So you just want to make sure to keep in mind that. So I would suggest after 30 days, not automatically when you first sell out. How much money would we need to start doing wholesale? To be honest, I feel like to advance quicker in wholesale, you should have at least $5,000 for the startup. Just because, you know, most distributors have an MOQ and you usually have to spend a good amount, near $1,000 in your first POs with them. So I recommend 5,000. So how can I find suppliers? So there's a few wholesale questions on here. How to find suppliers. The main way that I do it is called Google Deep Dive. And basically you just search up suppliers in your area. And then you, of course, you outrange it into other locations. It's always better to search in your area first, just so that you can avoid the shipping costs and you can eventually actually pick it up from the distributor's warehouse. So it's really simple. You just go on Google and you just put grocery distributors in Miami, Florida, health and household distributors in Atlanta, whichever your area is. You just start looking into all of their websites and just making sure that they actually sell brand name products that sell on Amazon. Every distributor has a website, so that's probably one of the most effective and beginner ways to find suppliers. Do you need an Amazon account first before ungating products? Yeah, so to get ungated, you have to open up an Amazon selling application, and you can only do that by having the Amazon selling account. So yes. So how much should I invest in when starting off, and what? So I'm guessing like what products. So I definitely recommend for beginners who are starting arbitrage, at least $500 to $1,000. And then, you know, the products that you should invest them in is definitely groceries, I would say. Have you ever needed to create your own listing for a product? Is it worth doing? So I actually have created a few listings just because they weren't selling on Amazon. It was these Jordan skin syrups. It was like this holiday edition and they were not selling on Amazon at the time. And I was just like, let's give it a try. That's when I first created a listing for something and I made good money. I made 3 different listings, but they all eventually got taken down just because I'm not the authorized reseller or manufacturer for that Jordan Skinny Syrups brand, and I named it under a generic listing, meaning it's most likely going to get taken down. You don't ever want to deal with generic listings. Don't create generic listings and don't hop on generic listings. Generic listings means that this listing was created by someone that is not authorized. A random seller just created it. They hit me with some IP, but everything was fine. I eventually made all of my money plus more on all of the 3 flavors, and I sold them throughout like November, December, and a little bit of January. But they noticed that I had that listing up after the fact. I sold out, so that was perfect for me. But you want to make sure not to do that. I also tried creating a listing for a Barbie product, and I guess they were way more strict with that. They didn't even let me sell it at all. And I had a few units, like 16 units. So I still have it with me, the 16 units, because I bought them from Ross. And I sent them to Amazon, and that's when they deleted my listing automatically. So I had to get them sent back to me, which is another fee. I had to pay for the shipping to Amazon, and I had to pay to get it back sent to me. And now I'm just stuck with 16 Barbie products. Just know that certain brands are way more strict when it comes to unauthorized resellers. So yeah, you can hop on a listing, on a Barbie listing that was made by an authorized reseller or manufacturer or Barbie, but you can't hop on a listing that like a random seller like me made. How hard is it to get past the ungating process? So it's not hard at all. It's It's just a little annoying because most of the Amazon workers will automatically deny you in the beginning just because they see that you're a new beginner. And what I tell people all the time is just to keep applying and just to keep going back and forth with them. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, a lot of people think they're doing something wrong when in reality they really are not. Like, everyone always watches my tutorials. I always get people saying, you know, this is not working, but then I get hundreds of people saying that it is working. So it's like, the ungating methods work. You just have to keep reapplying, and I cannot stress that enough. How much time do you invest into your FBA business daily? I would say I invested about like 3 to 4 hours a day in the beginning. So I spent like 15 to 20 hours a week. That was also because I was working at the time, but I still made sure that I had time to focus on my Amazon business. And eventually I started outsourcing a few things. So now my mom is my personal assistant. So anytime I have products, she does all the shipping and the process of, you know, sending it to Amazon and everything like that. And she also inputs my cost of goods in my BQ or repricing software and also my seller board software. Make sure to go to the link in my description for free trials on both of those softwares. At the moment, I probably would say that I probably spend like 10 hours a week on my Amazon business. It's most likely going to be more just because it's pretty time consuming trying to find wholesale suppliers, because that's my current mojo right now. I would say 10 to 15 right now. Yeah. How do you delete an application if you choose to not get ungated in that brand? So this is actually something that I was wondering when I was in the beginning, starting out. There's actually no way to delete a draft of an application. It's always going to be on there. So sorry about that. I know I hate clutter. I don't like stuff that is like not going to be used. I was trying to find a way if I can delete it, and a few people asked me this, and I just know that we're on the same boat, like OCD type thing, because yeah, you cannot delete an application that is either drafted or you just don't want to actually get ungated in it anymore. What should be a good number of products / brands you are ungated in before arbitraging? To put a number on it, I've never put an actual number on it. Maybe, I guess you can say like 5 to 10. Honestly, like, I wouldn't put a number on it just because I tell people all the time to just get ungated in everything. Just focus on every ungating brand and category. But if you really wanted to start selling, I would say to at least have the grocery category ungated, the OTC medication ungated, a little bit of the health and household, and the some beauty brands, toy brands. So actually about like 10 different things. So yeah. How to do your quarterly report for your reseller's permit. So you actually don't have to do it quarterly. You would want to contact the website that you got your reseller's permit and tell them that you sell on Amazon, and then they will change it to yearly, because you don't have to do it quarterly. How often do you file taxes when selling Amazon FBA? It'll be once a year, you know, yearly. If you had $2K to buy inventory, what stores would you spend it in first? So if I had $2,000, I would definitely spend some on, I'll probably spend like $1,000 in sports apparel like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, and then the other $1,000. Oh, and the store I would go to is the outlets, of course. I would want to spend it on lower return rate products since I'm already spending $1,000 on higher return rate products. So I would look into some health and household and grocery, either doing online arbitrage, Vitacost, or going in store to Walmart or Ross, for example, because Ross has good grocery. What brands do you advise to buy for cosmetics products, ungate, and which website? She was basically asking what products do you recommend that's in the makeup category to ungate, and then also which website. Definitely Target.com. I recommend getting ungated in Neutrogena, CeraVe, Maybelline, all of those really popular beauty brands that you see commercials go for every single day. Or just look into the bestsellers page and look under the beauty category and just see what is selling well. La Roche-Posay, that brand, I don't know if I'm saying it right. And the Target.com, I have tutorials on how to do that. Yeah. How do I stop Amazon from auto declining me for getting ungated? So what you would want to do is go to your case log and then look for that case number of that application that you applied for, and then click I need more help with this issue, and then that will transfer to an actual Amazon worker. Because if you're getting auto declined, it's most likely a computer generated type thing. So you would want to click I need more help with this issue, explain your issue, and then also everything that you provided in your first ungating application, make sure to provide that as well on there. And yeah, just do that. I want to start wholesale after doing RA, but I have no idea on how I can find the perfect product to get me to 10K. So if you have no idea, honestly, just look into my YouTube videos on exactly how I source and different sourcing methods. You aren't going to just be given your winning product on a silver platter. You really have to go out there and find it, either if it's doing in store or doing online, or doing wholesale and looking for distributors and looking through their catalogs. You literally just have to grind and keep searching. That's all I can say. It's kind of like a treasure chest. Like, no one's going to automatically tell you where the treasure chest is at. You have to go out and try and find it. So that's what I would tell you. Why shouldn't we sell items that Amazon is selling? Because you don't want to compete with Amazon. Most of the time, Amazon wins the buy box like 99 to 100% of the time, meaning that you are never going to be able to win the buy box, and you want to win the buy box so then you can make the most sales. Also, it's Amazon's platform, so if you're trying to compete with Amazon, it's just not going to do you well. Now, there's some instances where Amazon is on a listing, but they're only winning the buy box, let's say 30% of the time, and you can see that the buy box statistics on SellerAmp, it's pretty equal and it's being shared across a lot of sellers. That's perfectly fine. But you also want to keep in mind to look into Amazon's stock number and see how much times and how long they've been on the listing. So I would just do that. And then the last thing is a breakdown of SellerAmps. So I have a lot of sourcing tutorials on my YouTube channel as well. Honestly, guys, like, a lot of people ask me a lot of different questions, a lot of in-depth questions, and I provide them all for you guys on my YouTube channel. You just literally have to just watch it and click it. That's literally all you have to do. There's no paid anything, just click it. Make sure to like it up and subscribe as well. That's pretty much it with today's questions. Like I said, again, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Comment the word hustle if you got to the end of this video. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow my second YouTube channel, Jazz Hustles Vlogs. I'm definitely going to start posting on there more. I know I say it every single week, but it's just because I'm really busy, but I'm starting to have a little more time on my hands. So I will start posting more vlogs up there. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'll be doing an ebook giveaway for each video. So make sure to go down there. Make sure to tell your grandma, your teacher, your uncle to subscribe to the Jazz Hustles Vlogs channel. I definitely want to, make it bigger. And I guess the only way to make it bigger is to really start posting on it. So I definitely understand that, but we're gonna start doing that, guys. I have a few old vlogs, but I will just post it on there anyways, just so it won't go to waste. But yeah, if you don't know already, the Hustlers Academy is out. It's basically my mentorship / course program. It's where you will be getting unlimited coaching calls with me and my boyfriend Javon, where we will help you out during your journey so then you can succeed guaranteed. And then also you will be having access to 10+ hours of insightful course modules that I personally made to help you out with your business, literally step by step on every single thing in this business. Super in depth. Like, you guys think I'm in depth in my YouTube videos. I'm 100 times more in depth when it comes to my program. We're still only accepting a few amount of students, so make sure to go down to the link in my description so that you can apply to be one of my mentees and then also be enrolled in the Hustlers Academy. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys real soon on the next one. Peace.
Well, you would rather be on them drugs. I would rather hang with my thugs. Fuck when you been draining me out.